What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another, very merry edition of the Fans Guide to Animation podcast.
It's a Christmas episode.
Get hyped. Get hyped for Christmas because we're gonna be.
The weather outside is frightful.
It actually is where we're at.
All that stuff.
It actually is because it's raining outside a lot. It's pretty frightful.
It's not a lot. Don't exaggerate.
Okay, well, anyways, I'm Anthony. If you've yet to listen to any of our podcasts, and if you decided to drop by, and for those of you watching, hello. If you subscribe to me, you know who I am. But this is my buddy Daniel. Daniel, say hello.
Hi.
Yeah, we are going to be talking about some of our favorite TV Christmas animated specials. That's a lot.
It's Christmas,
yeah.
so like everything pretty much has a Christmas episode. Every
TV show
at some point, if it's more than one season, it's probably going to have a Christmas episode.
Like heck, some shows like The Simpsons started off with a Christmas episode. Like,
a lot of shows weirdly start with a Christmas episode.
So there is clearly a lot to choose from, and we definitely did our best to think about some of the either more obscure stuff or just more I guess shows that left us with an impression in our lives. You go back and you watch your favorite stuff every year.
And if we didn't want to talk about like the stuff that everybody already kind of knows about, like The Grinch and Charlie Brown and
not to say that those aren't great. Those are great. The original Grinch special, or heck, even the other elephant in the room is Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's definitely my favorite movie.
It's
Christmas movie.
It's like so enjoyable, so it's quotable. The music is fantastic. We even have Jack Skellington here. If you're watching us, you see it here. Listening, we're just letting you know if you're, it's there. The point is, we thought about that for a little while. We're like, you know what? Let's talk about Nightmare Before Christmas. But everybody knows about this movie. It's everywhere. It's the thing that kept Hot Topic alive for like 10 years, and then all of a sudden, about 5 to 8 years ago, it exploded in like a resurgence, and it just never went away. So we're gonna go into more.
We're not gonna focus on that.
Yeah, we're gonna be focusing on some more. Yeah, I like to think
a little bit more obscure things.
And, why don't you start off with your third pick? Because we're gonna do a top 3 of each. There's no particular order, but it's just 3 specials that we definitely wanted to mention. So, anyways, if you want to start off with your third pick.
Well, the first one I wanted to talk about was the Christmas special for Hey Arnold. It's entitled Arnold's Christmas, and I know you didn't grow up with Hey Arnold as much as I did, or haven't seen as much as I have. But Hey Arnold's a great show. It's about a little kid named Arnold, and he lives in presumably New York. They never say it's New York, but it's obviously New York.
Especially his grandpa. I always liked that character. He was really funny.
Voiced by Dan Castellaneta.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah. The voice of Homer Simpson.
Voice of Homer.
Yeah. In this episode, Arnold lives with his grandparents, and his grandparents run a boarding house. Boarding house, if you don't know, is basically like a dorm for adults where everybody has a room, but they all share like common areas and stuff. So it is Christmas, and they all have a secret Santa, and Arnold gets Mr. Huynh, and Mr. Huynh is one of the residents. He is an Asian immigrant. So he gets Mr. Huynh. He doesn't really know Mr. Huynh a whole lot, because I think this is the first season episode, so this is pretty early on. But Arnold doesn't know a lot about Mr. Huynh, so he go ahead and asks Mr. Huynh, or just talks to him, to kind of get some information to find out what to get him for Christmas. He learns that Mr. Huynh originally moved to the United States because his country at the time was war-torn, so there was a lot of, war and fighting and stuff.
Just not the greatest environment.
Yeah. So he wanted to get out, and he also had a daughter. But when he originally wanted to leave, he had an opportunity where this helicopter was taking people out of the country, and there was a big crowd of people, and they could only take one more person. So he decided to have a better life for his daughter, who was a baby at the time. He gave her over to one of the U.S. soldiers in the helicopter, and they took her off, and he hasn't seen her since. So Arnold thought, hey, that would be a great Christmas present. I mean, that's kind of a...
It's very noble.
That's kind of a big deal. I mean, Arnold could have just got him like a gift card or something, but no,
But no,
Arnold's very extra.
Arnold just is that kind of guy who he would go above and beyond for anybody.
So Arnold goes to find out information to try and track down his daughter, and he and his best friend Gerald run into one guy who's kind of like a grumpy, curmudgeon-y, old Scroogey kind of guy, because obviously every Christmas special needs a Scrooge.
Does he say bah humbug?
He does not, but he is very grumpy. He needs this information from him, but it's like Christmas Eve or something. And he will give Arnold the information if Arnold does all of the Christmas shopping for him by the end of the day or something along those lines, which is a pretty short, which is almost impossible. But this is cartoon, so you could suspend your logic for a little bit. Arnold's, I guess, classmate, Helga, who is one of the other main characters, she has a huge crush on Arnold. She's kind of a bully kind of character, so she takes it out on Arnold a lot, and she's
a misunderstood person.
She's the best character of the show. She's looking for something to get Arnold for Christmas, and she gets this pair of boots that she's been wanting all year. It's like the hot ticket item, but that's the last thing that Arnold needs in order to like get that guy's his stuff and get the information to find Mr. Wood's daughter. And Arnold can't find those boots, and at the end of the day, he kind of leaves a little crestfallen, and like
just that part where the hero needs to rise up again
because this old man just won't give him the information.
So what if somebody got?
So I guess he got all of his presents besides one, and then Arnold just did all of his shopping for nothing. But Helga has those boots, and she stalks him, obviously, and she overhears that he needs those boots. So she parts with them, and she gives them to the old man. And at the end, you see Arnold telling Mr. Wynn, I'm sorry I wasn't able to get you anything for Christmas. But then you hear a knock at the door, and it is Mr. Wynn's daughter. I forget her name. And they have a really touching kind of reunion thing. And on the outside, Helga is standing outside. She doesn't come in at all. She's just kind of like looking at the apartment, and she just says Merry Christmas, Arnold. And it kind of ends there, and it's kind of like this really nice thing.
So many nice moments.
Yeah, it's like one of those really heartfelt kind of things. And I don't know, it always stuck with me as a kid. I think I cried. I remember when I was a kid. I think I cried because
I almost feel like crying now.
That is one of the more touching episodes. Hey Arnold didn't,
and that's within the first season too. That's impressive. And it's very heartwarming.
And this episode is kind of like one of the highlights of the whole series. What is one of your picks?
Going from such a heartwarming thing to Inspector Gadget. That's going from that to this. It sounds really stupid now. I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's heartwarming.
You should have gone first.
That's heartwarming, Daniel. Let me hold my beer though. Just like I'll give you a tale of heart warmth that will just make you cry. And in terms of
there's this guy and he's got strings in his feet.
And he has a neck that extends out, and he just does crazy shit.
He saves Christmas.
We all know there's a lot of Christmas specials throughout everything, especially in animation.
To the point where it's redundant.
It's very redundant.
Like they kind of have to.
And this is definitely one of the most redundant, but it's the most ridiculous kind of redundant you could ever see with a character such as Inspector Gadget. It's entitled Inspector Gadget Saves Christmas, and for those of you who don't even know that this exists, because it came out after the series wrapped, it came out I think about a year after, and it definitely had a hint of a different animation style. It even had a couple different voice actors, but for the most part, they did keep the two main characters. That was the voice of Gadget and Dr. Claw, Don Adams and Frank Welker, respectively.
That's really all you need.
That's it.
I mean, you can even get rid of all the other characters, and if you have them too, it's pretty.
There is no point to really dive in too much on the details, other than it's exactly what you think it is. The main character of this show gets the mission to go and figure out something weird's going on in the North Pole, and that's because
Why
Doctor.
is he getting this?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't.
Why?
Why? Why?
Apparently,
Why?
he's just a police officer.
He's like the inspector to worldwide issues. He's gone to like I don't know Egypt, and he's gone to like Africa and some other random places in the show. He's the guy that we need to solve all of our toughest crimes.
Is he like? Is it? They never. Do they ever address like who he works for?
No, it's just the police department. I think in his local
He's
city.
just a regular police
Like,
officer.
like he has a regular
gets sent
chief.
off
He
to,
has
like, this weird-
Chief Quimby. He's the guy who gives him all of his missions via exploding paper, and he always gets exploded. Like he always gets exploded every time, and it happens here. He gets the mission to go to the North Pole to investigate what is happening in terms of Santa's workshop. Santa's workshop is under control by Dr. Claw, who wants to, guess what? Take over Christmas and ruin it for everybody. Because we'll never know. He literally has a quick montage of him suiting up in a Santa suit, and he's a lot pudgier than I thought. He actually filled out the suit pretty well, so I'm like, wow, Dr. Claw's fat. Okay, that's a mystery. That's a mystery.
That's a question everybody has. Is Dr. Claw fat?
Is he fat? Well, we found out today.
Yeah,
he is, and he ends up trapping Santa Claus in his own ice dungeon. This does not take place in like one of his lairs or anything. No, this takes place at the North Pole with all the elves and everybody. Also, random thing, Mrs. Claus nowhere to be found. Don't know what happened to her. She could have been like on vacation. I don't know. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Anyways, so it's just Santa and the elves. That's it. There's nothing else going on here. And I think a reindeer shows up later or something.
There was a reindeer.
Yeah, there was like a couple reindeer showing up.
I didn't think this out very well.
There was a couple reindeer at the end or something. Either way, the point is he gets trapped in his own ice dungeon. I'm still trying to make that sink in. And Dr. Claw runs things by making the elves under his control. He puts something in their hats, and they just go into a trance. They literally have a whole moment where they just show them all just like happy and laughing and doing their little dancing and working in the shop, and all of a sudden they're just like, just like in a trance. They make shoddy toys.
This doesn't what?
Yeah, I know. This is the worst kind of
sense.
It doesn't. It
why
really
would he
doesn't.
want? Why would he? He's just giving himself more work to be Santa now.
And he
makes
almost
a slightly crappier Christmas.
He almost gets away with it, but then of course Gadget comes into the picture.
I can understand if he was like, I don't know, he was like keeping all the toys or something, I guess, and selling them. Or,
no, he's not the Grinch.
Making any money off of this.
He's not as well developed as the Grinch, I guess, because
what is his end goal?
He actually runs.
I need to know this.
He runs the whole North Pole. He runs the workshop, and he watches over the elves, making sure that they basically fuck up their own jobs while they're under this trance. And he actually has some of the elves try to fight Gadget at some point. It's really ridiculous. These little tiny people trying to fight Gadget to an extent. Not really fight, just more of like... Not quite, no. It's more of they try to grab him and hold him down or something.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, no, and it gets better because what's better than a Christmas special than having a main villain that never, ever you would think would want to do this, but somehow that's what they make the main villain do. We also have Christmas songs. We got to have that in every Christmas special.
It's musical.
And
great.
It's only got like 3. I think.
Well, I mean, I think
it's only got like
minute episode, like.
I don't know. I take that back. I think it's 2. Either way, Gadget sings 1. It's like like, and it's really really bad.
He does not have a voice for singing.
And Don Adams, God bless him. Like he was a great and talented comedian actor. And Inspector Gadget, while it was a highlight of his career, it wasn't exactly the greatest character. I still enjoy it for just the bumbling buffoon aspect that he is.
Cartoon, really.
But here's the thing, and it was because of the Nostalgia Critic review that he pointed this out, and I always thought, even as a kid, this sounded kind of off. When he starts singing his song, it sounds like he's singing it from his phone or something. Like the audio dives down so low. It's just a random nitpick, I know.
Quality.
Yes. Really bad. And then when he starts talking to other characters, it sounds fine again. But it's like, he's just like, I'm not coming in for that, so I'm just going to do it over the phone. Is that cool? Okay. Wowzers. And from there, the whole special plays out like you think. Penny Gadget, his niece, is also with him, along with their talking dog, Brain. Well, he kind of talks. He He talks less than Scooby-Doo, so he mumbles things. Either way. They are the true heroes of the show. They're always the ones diving into bad situations, and Penny Gadget has her fancy gadgets, her watch, her book, and all this stuff that basically a book version of an iPad, I guess. Anyways, she solves and figures out that Dr. Claus is actually Santa Claus right now. There is a shot in this special where Inspector Gadget is point blank looking at Claw, and he still thinks he's Santa. This guy is like, I don't know. I could have made a very bad joke. I wanted to make a joke. I'm not going to. No, it's Christmas. I can't make this kind of joke. Okay, but the point is, he is that
idiot.
Yes, it is that dumb. Where that's like the very subtle moment where I'm like, rewatching this special, I'm looking at it and I'm like, there's a reason why he hasn't moved up or anywhere in the world. That's why he's just plateaued out in terms of a career. Maybe
get your shit together, Inspector Gadget.
Like,
come on,
it's really bad. What's
his real name?
In the Disney movie, the live action Disney movie, his name was
obviously canon.
John Brown. The most bland, boring name that you could have given.
That's the worst name.
You couldn't have made it something interesting enough, like
it's kind of interesting. It's
something like I don't know, make him Italian, Gadgetoli or something. I don't know, something. But no, in the live action Disney movie, both of them. Just thinking about that. The sad part is they're kind of guilty pleasure, but anyways, it's still bad.
Wait, his niece even calls him Gadget.
Yeah, no, but in the Disney movie, they did not. She calls him Uncle John, and that was like blasphemy. Okay. I'm just like, well, I mean, no, this doesn't work.
At least.
But yes, in the show from the get-go, yeah, she calls him Uncle Gadget. So I don't think they ever said his first name. I don't ever think they did in the show. Either way, it plays out the way you think it is. Penny figures out Claw's the one who's doing a lot of bad stuff. Gadget figures out that Santa's been captured the whole time. And even then, he still pulls on the real Santa's beard and questions him if he's the real Santa. Even though if they were trapped together in the dungeon. What the actual fuck? I know the character was stupid, but I felt that they went even more out of their way to make this character beyond an idiot. I literally, there's an uncomfortable scene where he's just yanking on his beard, full force, just shoving him down for a quick 10 seconds, and I'm like...
It doesn't come off?
No, it does not.
Why not?
Because it's actually him, so of course.
I guess they're doing it's the real Santa.
Yes. Oh. That's how fucked up it is, though. Huh. That's really bad. This man cannot inspect things properly. This is really, I love the character
he doesn't deserve that title at all.
I love the character as that lovable oaf, kind of in the same vein as Peter Griffin or something, but that was Peter Griffin level stupid, and that's not the way the character was, at least to me as growing up watching the original show.
I would say the new series.
Yeah, the Netflix show I know is still around, and I haven't. I saw one episode, and I thought it was.
I'm pretty sure it's probably about the same.
Yeah, it's different. It's not good. It's not bad. It's kind of.
You can't really.
It's a weird middle.
There's not really a high threshold for the series or anything.
The point is, we know how this ends. Like I've already stated, Penny figures everything out. Gadget kind of fumbles his way through things. The dog disguises himself as an elf, and Gadget chases him at a point too. And I'm
Why would the dog do that?
Because he was trying to find clues and stuff. That's how the process, the formula goes. The dog dives into the dangerous stuff while Penny just analyzes stuff in the background. That's how it goes every damn episode.
Okay, whatever.
So, yeah, they figure out it's Claw. He figures out that Gadget's onto him, and then things happen. He tries to, make Christmas bad anyways, but then he realizes, yep, this is a lost cause. He flies away on his fancy jet thing, and then Gadget somehow saves Christmas anyway. I don't know how that happened. I mean, technically, I think they didn't have much time left. I don't know. The point is, that's how it ends, and it's just yay, you stopped him. I'm putting air quotes right now. Yeah. We went from a very humbling Hey Arnold episode to
Yeah.
this shit. But it's so absurd and so weird that I had to talk about it because
Well, if you remember it
It's-
from your
it's-
childhood, I mean, obviously.
I
it
had the
made an impact
VHS tape.
of some kind.
I had the VHS tape and I watched that. I can say that.
Hey, well,
And I watched it.
you did watch it.
There's nothing else to it.
That was the thing that
It's
happened.
not
You watched
great.
it with your eyes.
If it's probably better if I don't condone this, but if you're drunk, it's probably hilarious.
Huh?
Like it's probably even more
Yeah,
funny.
I could see that.
It's so over the top ridiculous. It's it's that kind of so good it's bad quality where I'm like,
Okay.
I can tolerate this just for how absurd it is. So
Okay. I could see that.
that's my pick for that.
So yeah.
Christmas!
Christmas!
Oh my God!
I hope we put you in the Christmas mood if you weren't already.
You definitely enjoyed the video version of this. Always like and don't forget to subscribe. And of course, actually subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or check us out on our website.
There will be a link
In
in the doobly doo.
the doobly doo and the box and whatnots and all that fun stuff right there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good stuff.
And also, there will be a link to the video in the annotations whenever that's up.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. You can find us at fgapodcast.com. You can also find us at FGA Podcast on all the social medias, Instagrams and Twitters and Facebooks and blah, blah, blah.
And if you would like to follow us personally, I'll put some annotations up right now in the video version, and of course, you put some info also in the description and whatnot on the iTunes accounts. All that fun stuff. Okay. Christmas. Yay.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Christmas.
Just shouting Christmas, it makes you feel happy. I don't know why.
Christmas! So, I hope you guys had a good time, and I hope you guys have a good Christmas.
And if you don't celebrate Christmas, just a good day,
Yeah.
I guess.
Tell us, what are your favorite Christmas things to watch every year? It doesn't have to be animated, but obviously this is an animated podcast, so what
It's
animated
preferred.
things-
It's just preferred a little bit.
It's suggested. And I guess we will see you in the new year.
I know. This is
The
the
last one of the year.
This is the last podcast of the year, ladies and gentlemen, and it's been a pleasure. We've had a lot of ups and downs starting out of this stuff up this year, but we've made progress. I'd like to think we've come a long way
We're
from
going to keep doing it.
and we're going to keep going. If you would also be so kind to let us know any reviews, or if you would like for us to possibly review a certain
Yeah, suggestions are welcome.
TV
Also,
show,
reviews
movies,
are welcome. Please
everything.
do that.
Constructive criticism is always welcome. So yeah. So that's it.
Yeah, that does it. And we'll see you in 2018. Bye.
Bye.